welcome back to Earstravagent Adventures. I'm your host, Rachel, here to whisk you away on another thrilling journey through the magical realms of Disney, Universal, and beyond. This week, we are visiting the Deluxe resorts at Walt Disney World, so you can get a little taste of all the resorts that are available for your next Disney vacation. But first, thank you, as always, to our sponsor, Alonzi Travel, the ultimate family theme park experts. Planning theme park trips can be overwhelming, but Alonzi Travel is here to make it stress-free. With their years of experience, they're your fast path to hassle-free travel. They handle all the details, allowing you to focus on having fun with your loved ones. Whether you dream of Hogwarts or Walt Disney World, they've got you covered, tailoring the trip to your family's needs. Visit alonzi-travel.com/take the trip for a magical adventure. And this is actually take two. I had 90% of this episode recorded and the power went out in my house and my computer didn't save my video. So this is take two. Yay. So first things first, what is a deluxe resort? At Walt Disney World, deluxe resorts are going to be their top tier resorts. And we're actually going to talk about deluxe resorts and deluxe villas. So the deluxe resorts are their top tier resorts. For those of you who haven't been to Walt Disney World before, I like to compare these hotels to a signature Marriott, a signature Hilton, Hyatt Regency. Some are even like Ritz-Carlton type, to kind of give you a comparison in hotel chains that you may be more familiar with. Now, these resorts are all located in prime locations. Some are close to Magic Kingdom, some are close to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, and one is right on the Savannah for Animal Kingdom. So part of what makes them a deluxe resort is their prime locations. Now, the deluxe resorts themselves, the ones that are specifically deluxe, we have the Grand Floridian, which is within walking distance to Magic Kingdom. The Contemporary, which is also within walking distance to Magic Kingdom. Polynesian Village, which is technically within walking distance, but it's pretty far to walk. Wilderness Lodge, Beach Club, and Yacht Club, which are both within walking distance to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. The Boardwalk, again, within walking distance to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. And Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is located on the Savannah for Animal Kingdom, in case the name didn't give it away. Deluxe Villas are the Disney Vacation Club property. Now, the Disney Vacation Club is a whole episode on its own, but just to kind of give you a super brief rundown. Disney Vacation Club is Disney's version of a timeshare. If you're familiar with timeshare, you'll kind of know what that is, but basically it lets you buy real estate at Walt Disney World, and how Disney does it is different than most timeshares that I'm aware of, whereas they give you points, and these points you can use whenever and however you want to, as long as you use them by a certain date, fine print, blah, 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 blah. Most timeshares, it's a specific week at a specific place, and even on top of that, probably a specific room number. But Walt Disney World, they just give you points that you're allocated each year. You can use them in Hawaii, you can use them in Disneyland, you can use them at Walt Disney World. They even have a timeshare exchange program, but that's how it is. I'm actually a Disney Vacation Club owner myself, and I have Polynesian and Bay Lake Tower. Just the way it works is it's a real estate venture, so you pick where you want to buy your real estate, but you can use them anywhere. Like I said, Disney Vacation Club is a whole nother conversation, and if you guys want more details on that, I would be happy to do that for you. Like I said, I am a member myself, and I've gone through the buying process twice, so happy to dive in more with you on that. But to tell you about them a little bit, these are going to be villas. So they have a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom option in addition to a studio. What's great about the villas is the 1, 2, and 3-bedroom options have full kitchens, and when I mean full kitchen, they have an apartment-sized refrigerator, a dishwasher, a stove, an oven, a microwave, plates, silverware, the whole nine. They have a full kitchen. They also have a mini, a stacked washer dryer. So if you're one of those crazy people who likes to do laundry on vacation, they do have a washer dryer in suite as well. So to the villa point, it makes it home away from home. Now, these deluxe villas, most of them are part of the deluxe resorts. So they just have a separate building or a separate section that's for Disney Vacation Club, but some are strictly Disney Vacation Club. So those are available at the Grand Floridian, Bay Lake Tower, which is connected to the Contemporary. The Bay Lake Tower is a unique instance where it has its own building, its own front desk. The rooms are completely separate, but there's a sky bridge that connects the Contemporary to Bay Lake Tower. And you can use all the amenities at the Contemporary while you're staying at Bay Lake Tower. So they're kind of sister resorts. Polynesian Village also has its own section, and coming soon, we don't have a date yet, but coming soon, there is a brand new tower that's opening at the Polynesian. If you've been to Walt Disney World in the last year or so, you've seen the construction going on over there. That is a new Disney Vacation Club property. It's going to have its own identity. I would venture to say it's going to be similar to like Bay Lake Tower. It's probably going to have its own check-in desk, things like that. So totally different vibe. That's opening 2025, most likely. Then Wilderness Lodge, they have some cabins out there in addition to rooms within the resort itself. So it's kind of a hybrid of Bay Lake Tower and Grand Floridian. There's also the Beach Club, the Boardwalk. Those are within those resorts. Animal Kingdom Lodge is another like Bay Lake Tower, where Animal Kingdom Lodge has Kidani Village. So Kidani Village is like a 7-minute walk from Animal Kingdom Lodge, but it's fully Disney Vacation Club properties. You can also stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge with your points, but mostly you're going to stay at Kidani Village. You can still use all the amenities at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but it's it's its separate building. It has its own front desk, blah, blah, blah. The Riviera is strictly Disney Vacation Club. It's purely Disney Vacation Club. And I'm sorry, I didn't mention. Well, yeah. The Grand Floridian, Contemporary, Polynesian, they're Magic Kingdom resorts. Beach Club, Boardwalk, those are Epcot Hollywood Studios resorts. Animal Kingdom Lodge, that's an Animal Kingdom resort. Riviera is going to be on the Skyliner for Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Saratoga Springs is next to Disney Springs, 100% Disney Vacation Club. Old Key West is the original Disney Vacation Club resort, and it is 100% Disney Vacation Club properties. It's also the biggest, so it's going to have the biggest rooms. And then new for 2024 in September, the cabins at Fort Wilderness. So there were cabins at Fort Wilderness, and they were regular cabins. Disney decided to take those out, bring in new ones, brand new refurbished, look amazing. And they're going to be Disney Vacation Club. Now, Saratoga Springs and Old Key West, those are interesting resorts because they are kind of set up like a moderate resort where they have multiple buildings with the rooms inside these multiple buildings. They're very big resorts. They have about 1,000 rooms apiece. All the other ones I mentioned, those are going to be traditional hotel where you just go into the hotel. They're smaller. You have one bus stop, things like that. But Saratoga Springs and Old Key West are very big properties, and they have multiple bus stops just like the moderate resorts. So that's important to keep in mind because one of the perks, in my opinion, of a deluxe resort is how they are smaller. Those two are a notable exception. Also, the cabins at Fort Wilderness, because you're booking a cabin, a true cabin, it's a standalone cabin, that's going to be the same too. It's going to be multiple bus stops and it's going to be set up different. But the cabins at Fort Wilderness, they're really cool because it is camping at Walt Disney World. So not only are there cabins at Fort Wilderness, there's also RV hookups. There are campsites. So you can actually go camping at Fort Wilderness. Fort Wilderness is a very unique property. People love this resort. I wouldn't call it a resort because it's a campground, but I'm just for my brain, we're going to say resort. People love this resort, and they get golf carts. They do golf cart parades. They do s'mores. They have campfires. They have cookouts. It's like a whole vibe. So people come to Fort Wilderness for the vibes. And same with Animal Kingdom Lodge. Animal Kingdom Lodge is for the vibes. Out of all of these resorts, like I mentioned, I own at Bay Lake Tower and Polynesian. If I could stay at any of them, I do like the Beach Club because most of the time I go to Walt Disney World, it's for a festival. So I like the ease of access to Epcot from the Beach Club. I used to love the Riviera. I had a not so great experience with them in March, so it makes me sad, and I don't really want to stay there again because it left a bad taste in my mouth. But their rooms are lovely, and the resort smells amazing. It's on the Skyliner, so like the Riviera is nice, but the Polynesian currently is my favorite and has been for years. The resort is stunning. The rooms are fantastic. It's on the monorail. Like, there's so many good things I can say about the Polynesian. I hope when we go in January, the new tower is open so I can see what the new tower is about. So stay tuned for more on that. But the Polynesian is my favorite. Now, I mentioned the monorail. So one of the perks of these resorts is, like I've said a couple times already, their close proximity to the parks. Grand Floridian, Contemporary, Polynesian, they are, like I mentioned, within walking distance, but they're also on the monorail, and it's on the resort monorail. So you can't take the express monorail, you take the resort monorail, and that takes you directly to Magic Kingdom. You also take that to the Ticket and Transportation Center and transfer to a Epcot monorail. So 2 parks you don't need to get on the bus for. You just take the monorail. The other 2 buses. Beach Club, Yacht Club, and Boardwalk, those are all within walking distance to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. They are like squarely in the middle. But you can also take the Friendship Ferry. So if you don't want to walk, they do have the boat transportation, which Grand, Poly, and Wilderness Lodge have boat transportation, Magic Kingdom too. So lots of transportation options. Riviera has the Skyliner to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Saratoga Springs and Old Key West, Animal Kingdom Lodge, those are strictly bus. They don't have any other mode of transportation outside of bus, and the cabins at Wilderness Lodge. Those are all bus. Okay. Now, the room types, I alluded to this, a 1, 2, 3 bedroom. Those are going to be the villas. Now, at the deluxe resorts themselves, they're going to have your standard hotel rooms, which is 2 queen beds. 90% of the rooms are going to have 2 queen beds. Walt Disney World is a family destination, so most of their rooms are going to accommodate a party of 4. Some of the resorts do have concierge level, some resorts have suites, but by and large, it's going to be the standard rooms. Now, the villas have a studio, which is going to be 1 queen bed and a Murphy bed with a kitchenette. The kitchenette is going to be a sink, a toaster, and a microwave, and a dorm-sized mini fridge. It's a little bit bigger. Then the 1, 2, 3 bedrooms are going to have, in the 1 bedroom, it's going to have a king bed, and in the living area, there's going to be 1 or 2 pull-out sofas or pull-out beds, depending on which resort you pick. The 2 and 3 bedrooms are going to have a king bed, and then 1 or 2 rooms with 2 queen beds. So you've got lots of bedding options. And if you can't tell from the bedding options, they sleep a lot of people. The 1 to 3 bedrooms also have in the living room 1 to 2 pull-out options. And the 3 bedroom can sleep up to 12 people. So lots of options, lots of people capacity, which is really nice because the standard rooms, the standard hotels, the max capacity on most of them is 4. Some rooms will have 5, some rooms will have 6, but a lot of them cap out at 6, and even more of them cap out at 4. So having these villa options is really great for families because then you don't have to get multiple rooms, you don't have to worry about connecting, you're just in a villa together. Plus, you have a kitchen. Now, look, I'm one that doesn't want to cook on vacation. I used to. When I was super budget conscious, we would stay at a 1-bedroom villa, and we would cook breakfast, which I don't really eat breakfast now, so that doesn't matter. And we would make lunches. We would make lunches to take to the parks, and then we would bring Tupperware, we'd make sandwiches, we'd have chips, the whole 9, and we'd only spend money for dinner. And that was when we were being really frugal. Now I just want to eat whatever I want, so I don't worry about that. But it's one of the nice things about maybe you did spend a little more money on the resort with the villa, but you can save money because with the fridge and the kitchen and all that good stuff, you can have a lot more food. So there's, give and take and what's most important to you. But that's a really nice feature of the villas. Also, the other room types, I mentioned cabins. So at Wilderness Lodge, they do have cabins. And then, of course, the cabins at Fort Wilderness, they're cabins. They have, they're usually like a 2-bedroom situation, still with the full kitchens. Got to keep all those Disney Vacation Club amenities, right? So they all have that. And then some of these resorts will also have fitness centers. If it's a Disney Vacation Club property, it'll have a fitness center. Some of them have meeting space, which I don't know if that matters to you. It doesn't really matter to me, but maybe it matters to you. They also have multiple dining locations. So with moderate resorts, they'll have maybe one sit down. With the deluxe resorts, they'll have multiple sit downs. All of the offsite character dining is at deluxe resorts. So all the good character dining, you'll find those at the deluxe resorts. They also have really good lounges. For example, the Grand Floridian has the Enchanted Rose, which is lovely. The Polynesian has Trader Sam's. Come on. You can't go wrong with Trader Sam's. And let's see, what else? I'm looking at my list of resorts to remind myself of all the options. But so those are my favorites though. At Bay Lake Tower, if you're a Vacation Club member, they have a villain lounge at the top of Bay Lake Tower, which is really cool, but you have to be a Disney Vacation Club member to get in there. Sorry. Also, I want to mention briefly the Polynesian has bungalows. However, there's only like 15 of them, and they sell out pretty much instantly, because the only drawback to the Disney Vacation Club for non-Vacation Club people is Vacation Club members get priority booking. That's just how the real estate contract works. So they get priority booking. So most of the time, by the time availability is released to the public, those rooms are already gone. But just know that bungalows are available. They are over the water bungalows. You should not get in the water. You should not get in the water of the Seven Seas Lagoon, but they are over the water bungalows, and they are lovely. So that's kind of the resort those are all the resorts, and you can tell there's quite a few. The majority of Disney's portfolio is deluxe resorts, and the deluxe resorts, they're lovely. They're where I stay most of the time. And why I love them is, number one, their close proximity. I am a person who likes to be very close to where I want to be. And that's why I mentioned I like the beach club, because most of the time I go for a festival. So having walking distance to Epcot is really important to me. However, during race weekends, I love to stay at the Polynesian, because the monorail is going to be your form of transportation to the half marathon and or the full marathon, instead of having to worry about the buses, which, if you're a Run Disney runner, you know the buses can be a stressful situation. So having the monorail as your option, which takes you directly to Epcot, takes so much stress out of that. It is just a lifesaver. So with big Run Disney events like Dopey, I'll stay at the Polynesian, so I have peace of mind of that transportation. But all of them have different personalities. I love Animal Kingdom Lodge for its escapism. Even Wilderness Lodge, actually, and they're very similar. They're designed by the same architect, so they have a very similar vibe. But Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge, you walk into those and you do not even feel like you're at Walt Disney World. You feel like you're at a destination in the wilderness or on the savannah. It is fantastic. So each resort has its own pluses to it, but close proximity is a big thing. They also have wonderful, subtle Disney touches. And, when we're talking value resorts, we're talking in your face, larger than life icons like The Little Mermaid or Finding Nemo or movies or music, larger than life icons. That's Pop Century. It's in your face. You cannot miss the Disney theming if you tried. Moderate resorts are going to be moderately in your face with the Disney theming. And then deluxe resorts, it's really beautifully done. The best example of this, if you haven't seen a room at the Grand Floridian, I highly encourage you to look it up or talk to your travel agent. We have pictures. They are beautiful. They're Mary Poppins themed, but it's so subtle. Like what are they called? What are those pillows called that are like round? And I don't know. The pillows that are round. They have embroidery on them of like the penguins. It's embroidery, but it's the penguins. The wallpaper has like subtle little Mary Poppins umbrellas. So subtle. And it's so elegant. I love it so much. Or on the flip side, the Contemporary, not Bay Lake Tower. The Contemporary, they just did a full renovation. It's wonderful. Of The Incredibles, which it's so funny because The Incredibles is set in like the 70s, but it still feels modern and fresh, and I love it. So it's such a good fit for the Contemporary, and it's Disney, but it's not smacky in your face Disney, which a lot of people appreciate. I like the subtlety. I don't want it to smack me in the face. I like the subtlety. So that's really nice too. The rooms are bigger. As you go up in price point, you go up in room size, not significantly. Compared to a value resort, yes, significantly. I'm not bumping into beds. I have plenty of space in a deluxe room. Actually, yes, significantly. They also have upgraded amenities like the linens, the towels, the pillows, everything. And you'll find this in hotels in general. This is not just a Disney thing. This is hotels across the board. If you stay at a Motel 6 versus a Holiday Inn versus the Hilton, you will see a stark difference in quality in the basic hotel room amenities. And that's the same at Walt Disney World. They also have, like I said, the dine-in ready. I'm not going to harp on this again, but steakhouses you're going to find at deluxe resorts. Character dining you're going to find at deluxe resorts. It's great. A perk that you may not know about with staying at a deluxe resort is you get extended evening hours. Now, it's only select resorts on select parks on select nights, but it's kind of like having an after-hours ticket because not a lot of people take advantage of the extra hours, extended evening hours, and even less people stay at a deluxe resort. So it's really amazing. It's a really great benefit that costs you nothing for staying at one of these resorts. And just the overall resort feel. Like they are great. I would say, honestly, all of them I feel kind of tranquil at. And this is hard for me to say, but Saratoga Springs and Old Key West are outliers to that because of how they're set up. And it pains me to say it because on the college program, those were the resorts that I worked at. Saratoga Springs was my home, but I also would get sent to Old Key West frequently enough that they were my home resorts. The way that the resorts are set up, they're not really meant to have like a home-based lobby and things like that. They do have a lobby, but because the buildings are all spread out, it's got a different feel. So it's not my like favorite resort feel. But the other ones, I mean, people just go to the Grand Floridian just to sit in the lobby. I mean, come on. It's great. It's a vibe. Polynesian, great. It's a vibe. Boardwalk has the creepy chair, but it's great. It's a vibe. Now, I also love deluxe resorts because outside of Saratoga Springs, Old Key West, and the cabins, they're going to be smaller resorts, which means they're easier to navigate. All the rooms are going to be encompassed in the one building. You're going to find your room inside, so you're not going to have outdoor corridors, which is super important for the Florida rainy weather. But it's also one bus stop. One bus stop. Again, outside of Saratoga Springs, Old Key West, and the cabins, it's going to be one bus stop. So you're not going to have to worry about, all right, they picked me up here. Now we've got 4 other stops before we get headed to the park or before we get back to my room. Like it's one bus stop and it's at the main entrance. So you're easily to your room. And to me, that's another big selling point because I don't love multiple bus stops because you could be at a bus stop further back that is full. And by the time you want to rope drop Magic Kingdom, you can't because the bus is full. And now I have to wait for the next bus and it's going to be another 30 minutes. So there's a lot of little details that set a deluxe resort apart that people may not think about. People are going to look at that price point and immediately, like it is a higher price point. It is. It's a deluxe resort. It is a higher price point. But people look at that and instead of seeing all these little things that I'm mentioning, they're just going to say, no, that's not for me. Instead of saying, okay, well, I know Susie Q is going to want to take a nap at 1 and we are going to be at Magic Kingdom most of the time. So it's going to take like an hour to get back to the resort, an hour or 2 to take a nap, an hour to get back. That's a lot of time out of your day if you're staying at like a value resort for the bus transportation. But if you're at Contemporary, you can just be like, well, she can start napping in the stroller. We can walk over to the Contemporary, which is like a 12-minute walk, get to our room, take a nap, and come back. And it's much less time. So there's a lot of things to consider about these deluxe resorts that add in to why they're so expensive. And they are expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. They are expensive. But to me, I feel they're worth it for the kind of vacation that I want. So highly recommend talk to your travel agent with Alonzi Travel. That is what they're here for, is to talk about the pros and cons with you, to see what's going to be a best fit for your family, because the last thing we want is the home base to be something that you don't want. So reach out to our friends at Alonzi Travel so we can come up with your custom vacation plan that is a perfect fit for you. And I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about the Deluxe Resorts, what they offer, where they are, and why they are amazing, and you should give them a try on your next trip. Until next time, have a great day.